And it is a good morning. Grab my headset. Check 1, 2, 3. Check 1, 2, 3. Check 1, 2, and a 3. A 3 and a 2 and a 1. Make sure my settings are okay on the volume. Let's get this party started. Stirring the coffee with chopsticks using the vortex method, the only true way to optimize the taste of your coffee at the molecular level. Good morning. Welcome to the Daybreak Show. I am the Sultan. We will get started, but first I'm going to have my first sip of coffee at 3:56 a.m. Perfect. Made it in a percolator today. Nice. So who do we have here? We've got an interesting show today. And it's a good morning. Good morning, Vietnam. Yes, you are the only one that gets up at 3:15. Getting the coffee ready. Using the K-Bar chopsticks of truth. Good to see you. Cossack, David Osborne, Sahand, Zachariah, Tony, Johnny Gonzalez, George, tell me, sir, why won't you call me? I have an email from you, and I am a very busy man, and you will get called. If you had 1/10 of my life, you would know exactly what I'm talking about. Yes, I am singling you out, Johnny Gonzalez. Yes, I am, sir. 4 a.m. Greetings from Poland. Okay. Good morning, Uncle George from Nigeria. Good morning from England. Scandinavia is in the house. Cyprus is with us. All right, I'm going to go to a couple different sites. And see where we end up. Hope everyone is doing well today. Yesterday's live broadcast Daybreak Show was offensive to many, and I'm glad it was. If it rang true, what do they say? If the shoe fits, wear it, right? If the shoe fits, you have to wear it. My Twitter is at George Bruno, and I on media and culture. Good morning, my early bird club. Get your chopsticks, fire up the coffee. We are going live in about 1 minute. It's a good day today. And she has the fake hair, the fake lips, the fake nails, the fake boobs, the fake eyelashes, the fake white teeth, the braces, the Botox, the chemical peels.
Rise and shine, George. It's a great day. It's 4 a.m.
It's my alarm. All right, enough of that. I should have turned off my alarm. That is Bach's cello suite that I wake up to if I don't wake up at 4 o'clock. You fix the gain on this bad boy. How's that sound? Okay, that's a little bit better. Yeah, I was picking up a lot of sound. I usually wake up before 4 o'clock, and in case I sleep past 4 o'clock or have the propensity to sleep past 4 o'clock, I have an alarm. And it goes off at 4 a.m. every day. And I am awake every day. Not always upright, but I'm awake at 4. So we're going to start from scratch here. Hold on as I begin a Twitter space. Start my space. I've never done a Twitter space before. Turn on the mic. Allowed, allowed, allowed. Beautiful. Beautiful. You're with me in real time here as I start a Twitter space. Permissions, camera, microphone. No, microphone is allowed. Okay. All right. Now it says that my Twitter space has started. And we'll see if that is true. Now it says my space is on. All right, so it's recording my audio. Excellent. Well, because of that, and we had a little bit of a whacked beginning, I'm going to stir the coffee with chopsticks, the giant K-bar chopsticks of truth. So here we go. Stirring the coffee with chopsticks, using the giant K-bar chopsticks of truth, using the vortex method. The only true way to optimize the taste of your coffee at the molecular level. Good morning. Welcome to the Daybreak Show. I am the Sultan. We'll get started, but first, coffee. Let's give it a try. Nice. That's Ethiopian. I ground it, made it in a percolator today. We're doing good. We're doing good. John Hoover from Austin, Texas is with us. Only kings wake up to classical music. That is the truth. I wake up to Bach every single day. Ukraine is in the house. All right. Trying to acknowledge every single person here. I just got up at about 3:45. Good morning to you. I'm new to your channel. I enjoyed the content. Sometimes us men need a swift kick in the ass. to unfunk ourselves. That is correct. A peace of mind over fake eyelashes any day. Sydney, Australia is in the house. John Hoover is no longer from Austin, Texas. He's from Europe. Germany and Italy are representing here. We are here to speak with each other. This is not a counseling session. So if you want counseling, you have to literally reach out to me privately. I don't do counseling on the phone. Well, let's start. First of all, a good morning to you. I'm glad you're here. Very glad you're here. And I'm glad I'm here. She's got the fake hair, the fake lips, the fake nails, the fake boobs, the fake eyelashes, the fake white teeth, the braces, the Botox, the chemical peels. But she wants a real man. She can't stand no fake man. Got to have a real man. Oh, my Lord. If she steps too close to anything warm, she might melt. She is an android. She literally is nothing but a silicone doll that will melt if she gets too hot. That's the way women are. Imagine kissing through an inch of makeup and fake chemical shit to get to the real woman. Sorry. Not going to happen. I am of the belief that women just don't want to get married anymore. Convinced. 100%. They want to play. And then when it gets right down to it, hypergamy does kick in. And that is basically, can she do any better? Women are always thinking to themselves, can they do any better? They're never, ever fully happy with you. Sorry, guys. I hate to say that. Even after you crank out a few babies, she still thinks that she can do better. If a woman leaves her husband, half of them will remarry. Half of those will divorce. 3/4 will not be in a better position. Why? Because the grass isn't always greener on the other side. It's not greener on the other side. A wise woman builds her house. I forget the scripture. I'll come up with it. A wise woman builds her house. A foolish woman tears her house down. I meet so many women who appear together on the outside, who seem like that they would make good decisions, but in the end run, they destroy their house. A woman can call you my dear, my love, my husband. I love you and I'm waiting for you. At the same time, she lights a match and puts it to the wood and burns that house down in that relationship. A wise woman builds her house. A foolish woman with no self-control, scripture talks about women need to be self-controlled, burns her own house down, burns her own relationship down. The very hand that works its ass off to bring home the money, to create a beautiful home, a roof over the head, she burns that house down. Your problem, gentlemen, is you let your woman rule your damn house. You defer leadership to her. She can't make the decision. Your leadership needs to start with this: follow my lead. If you are not a follow my lead kind of guy, she will step in the place of leadership. And what happens is this: if a woman has to play a masculine role in your family unit, she will start to despise you. Now, do you just start being a badass, stone cold prick one day? No, that's not going to work. You'll find yourself in divorce court pretty quick. If you, by default, started giving her the keys to the marriage and letting her run the marriage and pay the bills and kind of operate the house, you're in trouble. Start taking things back. Start not in a mean kind of way, but in the kind of way that's going to establish you as the damn leader of the house. Men don't know how to be leaders in their own home. That is a huge issue. No wonder your wife despises you. You are the one that's being, well, the lack of leadership. You're not taking the initiative. A couple years ago, I used to say, look for a man or look for a woman. A man should look for a woman that wants to build. You vet a woman for her propensity and ability to want to build. Someone made fun of me at one point and they said, well, what do you mean build? Like what, build cabinets? No, build a home. Build a home. Can a woman build a home? Most women are demolition experts. Women and a husband attached to it and burn it to the ground. A wise woman builds her house. A foolish woman tears it down. I hate to say it. Sydney, Australia is in the house. Skeletrex is with us. Sorry I'm late. Sage advice. Preach. Mr. Starko says you're a smart man. Thanks a lot. Demolition experts. No lie, Tyler Burgess says. Tasmania, Australia is in the house. Bulgaria is here. New York is here. It's really good to have you. I hope you have your coffee. I don't know if you stayed up all night or you just got up. I just happened to get up. I wrote an ebook called Navigating the Minefield, How to Handle Women from Red Flagistan. It will help you to never waste your time or money on a woman again. And it all started with a list of the things that I would have avoided when I first met my wife and various girlfriends. And we're going to be talking about some of that this morning. Navigating the Minefield. It'll end up being an ebook. Let's talk about a couple things before I get into navigating the minefield. There's so many videos on how to get her back. Literally, you could go to YouTube and say, how do I get her back? How do I get my girlfriend back? How do I get my wife back? Are you crazy, bro, brah, bruh? It's not like she went to a convent when she dumped you. If you take her back, you're eating another man's seed. Again, I'm keeping it real because nobody else will. Trying to get an ex back after she dumped you is like getting fired from a job, but still showing up at work the next day just in case they change their mind. They wanted a breakup. She wants a breakup. Give it to her. Let her have it. Let her steep in the consequences of her own folly. I know a woman that did not want to go back to work after the birth of her child. The husband had to man up and replace her income. She ended up getting several months maternity leave. And the pressure was on. Hubby, you better make some more money because I don't want to go back to work. And that's the problem with modern couples, is that the household ends up being supported by two people. If one person's income suffers, then that puts at risk the roof over your head. This is why if you can survive on one income, that would be cool. But with the modern schizo woman, it is difficult. And the reason why it is because if you support her, if you support this woman and she wants to split, then you have to pay for her lifestyle. Something is wrong with that. It is no wonder that men are tapping out of marriage. It is no wonder. I knew a gal and she was going to move to my area. And I said, well, you just start looking at LinkedIn, look at glassdoor.com. Maybe you can start seeing some things that might be a good fit. And this was many years ago. Her answer was this. Her answer is, if I work full time, how can I be a good housewife? In other words, she wanted kind of a free ride. What the what? Really? She didn't want to work. She thought that by being with me was going to save her from having to work full time. Sorry, honey. The grind tells me that you just want an escape. You're not going to get an escape. I'm not rescuing you. Gentlemen, there will be no rescuing. A woman we want equality? Okay, you get equality. You don't get a man to support you the way your grandfather supported your grandmother. You don't get that. You want to be a feminist? You want to be brainwashed? Okay, but you are not getting supported. It's not going to happen. Sorry. Granddaddy did it. Daddy did it. You are not going to do it. I am not going to do it. I am not going to support you because you've been working your corporate travel job and now want to settle down. You lived your life, you traveled the world, you banged everything on business trips. Now you want to come to me and settle down and not have to work? Sorry, honey. You know what? Women who get that in their head end up growing old and working hard and then retiring from a corporate job. Their body count quadruples by then, and they are pretty much worthless. The reality is, a man's market value, and I don't even want to say sexual market value, his value in the world increases as he gets older. I make more money as I get older. It's got nothing to do with having a master's degree. It's got nothing to do with having all kinds of continuing ed. It has to do with my hustle. That's just a reality. I am not going to rescue you from 20 years of your corporate hell. You want to go to work and call another man boss? Go for it. Be my guest. It's all yours. Unless you've been totally destroyed emotionally, in which case your value decreases and departing life is the only good option. That is also a reality. That is from Christoph Dallas. Mats Nilsson says, good morning from Gothenburg, Sweden. Good to be with you all. Iremia, one of the OGs of this channel. Hey, George. Greetings from Romania. It's good to have you here. I do keep the truth coming. Josh Westbrook, good to see you. This is the time of year where many women will dump their men. You know why? It's pre-summer. Ovulatory shift. She's feeling good. Her boobs are a little plumper. She's feeling good. She's been going to the gym 3 times a week. Summertime always does it. Girl vacations, solo vacations, hoping to hook up, and it could lead to something good. It might not. At least she got her pleasure, but it might lead to a typical 3-year relationship that she usually gets because most modern women, remember what a modern woman is A modern woman is a woman who has running water. Most modern women are looking to hook up. They will go through 3, 4, 5 men, and out of those men, one of them will be available for a typical 3-year relationship. She's open to that. Things start unraveling at year number 3. She doesn't marry out of fear because her parents have a shitty marriage, and my God, she doesn't want to have a marriage like her parents. Damn it, she'll show them. I'm reviewing some stuff from yesterday. I do believe the red pill doesn't take into account demonic possession and oppression. A modern woman stringing together man after man after man. We're talking adult women, not young girls. Adult women, bona fide adult women, stringing together man after man after man without marrying, without having babies. That woman is under the very subtle satanic worldly influence, even if she goes into church. Short-circuiting pregnancy with hormonal birth control so she doesn't get pregnant is satanic. What is a uterus for? What is a uterus for? I'm going to give you 2 choices. You tell me, is a uterus for getting pounded on by a penis until it explodes its seed all over it? Or is it made to be injected with life-giving, beautiful man seed, and an egg is fertilized, a baby is conceived, and it starts growing, and 9 months later, a baby pushes out of the uterus? That is what a uterus is for. It is not a pound of flesh in the midsection of a woman that ends up being the backboard of a dick basketball game. Sorry. Uteruses are not meant to be washed in semen. They are not. They exist for one reason, and that is not pleasure. I'm not saying a woman doesn't receive pleasure from it, but the purpose of that is to create a child, to procreate. No one's talking about that. I am. That is why I think that most modern women are satanically oppressed. Truly believe that with all my heart. We're going to be getting into the women from Red Flagistan pretty soon. Greetings from Macedonia. Thank you for sharing the wisdom. So even being in marriage, you're saying that contraception is wrong. I'm not a fan of contraception. Sorry, man. It's very Protestant, contraception. And I don't like it. Rimia says, just became a father 3 months ago. A wonderful daughter. I hope to be the greatest father I can be for her. Let me tell you about that. You have been a watcher of this channel for a long time. You have interacted with me for a long time. Am I right? Am I right? And this is what I know to be true about you. You will be a good father. I can tell just from my interactions with you that you're going to be a good father. I have zero doubt about your fatherhood. Zero doubt. Albert Anastasia, old head, been around. Shout out to the men getting their life back together after being destroyed by a woman. That's right, it can be done. And it gets done all the time on this channel. And I'm proud of you for doing that. Yeah, I'm not interested in talking about Epstein Island. This is not a kind of a government and conspiracy theory channel, although we have gone into those issues. It's just something that I don't do. Just not interested because we just don't cross over into those areas. Chris says, I'm new here. Say you just want one kid in a marriage. What should you do after that? What other choices other than contraception? Look up natural contraception. Just look it up. Look up rhythm method. You'll see. Chris says, hey, George, thanks for doing that video about how to do the hair. Guys can be ignorant on that. That's true. Sometimes you got to break it down to build it. That is true. Rimia says, yes, it can be done to get yourself back together after a traumatic experience with a woman. Believe me, I went through hell in my life with a woman. You did it, my bro. You did it. Good for you. I give you a little fist bump. Last shall be first is one of the most powerful things in your life that you can ever do is just stay in control of what you can do for yourself. To really believe and know and think that you are in control of anything else is a no-no. Just stay in control of you. What do you have power over? And this is not, we're not talking about power tripping here. What do you actually have power over? What are the things that you have control over? You have no control over anyone, anywhere else. No one else. You have control over you. That's the beautiful thing. No one's going to test you on how you did with other people. What's going to happen is you're responsible for how you did with you and what you did with you. I really do wish all the men getting themselves back up after women got them done well, but it's not something I can do anymore. I've done it before and I am spent. Josh says, would a wife purposely keep her man unattractive? For years, my friends hated it when he shaved his head. It looked fantastic to me, but she hated it. He looked 15 years younger when he shaved. Yeah, keeping him back. Huge keeping him back. No doubt in my mind. Natural family planning can earn you graces in a marriage by mutually fasting from sex during the 5 fertile days of the wife's cycle. And that is a beautiful thing. That is an absolutely beautiful thing. Many people have successfully done that. There's breakups and then there's relationships with and breakups from a covert narcissist. That is a special form of demonic possession. T. Tukes says, hi, OG George, huge fan, young under 30 degreed millennial who divorced and got full custody of my daughter. Go for it, my bro. 3 years old, black guy who will touch 100K. Good for you, man. Email me sometime. Message me. That'd be awesome to hear your story. That was awesome. Josh Williams says, George, describe your life at 30 years old. I've been feeling lost. When I was 30, I had a letdown because I had got my master's degree at 26 and I kept saying PhD by 30. When I turned 30, I didn't get the PhD. I was in a program I guess I could go back to it, but think about it. That was over 30 years ago. But I had already, by the time I was 30 years old, I taught in 3 colleges. I taught Intro to Psych, which is Psych 101. I taught Psych of Personality, and I taught a class that I created called the Psych of Career Development. And that was pretty cool. My father from Italy was married 4 times. Back then, you had to be married to have a relationship. That's pretty wild, right? Having children is part of the winning game, something to think about unless you're not interested in being a father. God tells us to be fruitful and multiply. The family is the center of society. Think about it. Some people, talk about the 10 commandments. You know what the first commandment was? And it's not in the 10 commandments. The first commandment, the first thing that God told man and woman is to be fruitful and multiply, not be fruity and blow a guy. I got that from Owen Benjamin. That made me laugh the first time I heard that. I thought that was funny. Fun little question that I'd love all the fellas' opinions on. What meal would you be ecstatic to come home and find your woman cooking for you? Man, if I walked home from work, well, I because I work from home 90% of the time and 10% of the time I'm out at a part-time job. The idea of something coming out of the kitchen and the house smelling good would be exciting to me. And I could see myself doing my work on my computer here, and she comes walking in, stands right beside me, gives me a kiss on the cheek and says, "Dinner will be ready in 45 minutes, dear." I'd give her a kiss back, a little pat on the butt, and that would be cool. She's kind of giving me some time, little time to prepare rather than saying, "Dinner's ready." Let me know ahead of time. In 45 minutes, dinner will be ready. That would be cool. Thank you, George, for reading my comments without either dismissing or necessarily agreeing, just taking what I said at face value as to what I'm feeling. I appreciate the respect. Well, you're always going to get the respect here. Would disagree on some things like whether having kids is a good thing today. I would love to have 2 or 3 kids more. Seriously, I would love to have 2 or 3 more kids. There's no way I'm finding women that want one. I thought I had one, but I would love to have a family of 2 or 3 more kids. And I already got 3 kids that are grown up. I would love to have 2 or 3 more kids. My life, some people say, "Yeah, but you got to live life." I lived life. I've traveled the world. I had more women than all of you put together. I loved my life. I was a playboy for a long time. Now I'm going to be an older father again. And that's all right. I'm totally okay with that. It's hard. Let me tell you what, now in 2023, finding a wife, finding a woman who wants to have kids is almost difficult. It is so hard right now. I can't even begin to tell you. I can't run into women anymore. I don't run into anyone who wants to have kids. It's weird. Our society is pretty much screwed. The Western world and the world with running water pretty much doesn't want to have kids anymore. They might want to have one child in order to make themselves feel legit, but I want to have a bona fide, huge family. If it was up to me, starting all over again, I would have had 10 kids. Don't matter. I would have had 10 kids. Yeah, but you never would have traveled. You never would have had the things that you had. I don't care. I don't care. I would love to be living in a shack with a whole bunch of bedrooms, a big old farm table in the middle of it, 10 kids and a wife sitting around the table. I'm working my ass off during the day. She's taking care of the kids, homeschooling, preparing food, make a trip into town once a week. I would love that. I would do anything for that. What's cool about it is even at my age, I'm healthy enough to do all that stuff. Where should we look for a wife? When I find that out, I'll let you know. But we're going to get into the minefield, navigating the minefield, and the girls from Red Flagistan. Let's start with, let me just go back to Twitter, make sure I said everything I want to say. Women can change their mind and alter your trajectory with one schizophrenic decision. Never do anything for a woman that is not your wife. Never do anything for a woman who is not your wife. Even a wife of many years can still plan her exit months after she does it, and even after a weekend anniversary getaway. My dear, my love, my husband, I love you. And then tomorrow, tell you it's over. Never put your dreams or income at risk, ever, gentlemen. You do it for yourself. If it spills over on others, fantastic. But if you do it for others, you're going to be let down. When a woman cheats, she goes. Respect yourself, bro, brah, bruh. From that moment on, she's lying every time her mouth moves. I believe everything a woman says and nothing of what she does. The meme says, shows Becky here. She says, "You'd really work your ass off all day so I can keep spending my time around our home, making it beautiful and raise the most loving kids." And you know the picture of Chad, kind of like the blonde guy hair with the undercut haircut and the beard and the word underneath it. It just says, yes. You would do all that for me? For our family? Yes, I would. It's not even a question. I don't need to write anything else. One word, yes. You mean you would provide a house where I don't have to go to work, where I can raise kids, the food is always filled in the cupboards, the water's running, we go on vacation a couple times a year, we eat dinner together around a big table every day, we give thanks to God for everything that He's given us. You mean you would do that for us? Yes, I would. That's my role in life. That's what I would do. Proverbs 31:10 through 12 says, "An excellent wife," King James Version says, "a virtuous woman," but we'll stick with this version, which I believe is the English Standard Version. "An excellent wife who can find? She is far more precious than jewels. The heart of her husband trusts in her, and he will have no lack of gain." In other words, he can be away for a couple days and trust her that she ain't doing anything funny. He will have no lack of gain. She's not taking anything from him. Key phrase here, she does him good and not harm all the days of her life. Again, a wise woman builds her house, a foolish woman tears it down. Women don't know how to build a house anymore. Sorry. Just ain't happening. It's weird. I don't like it. Women divorce and break up with every kind of man. I said this last week. High value, medium value, low value. You see this all over Twitter right now. What is a high value man? That is too funny. My coaching clients, I have high value coaching clients. Coaching clients that have more money than all of us put together, whose wife said, "I don't want to be married anymore." A good looking man who lives in a house that's over $1 million house. She leaves him, takes the kids. She's in an almost $1 million house now. High, medium, and low value. Will somebody tell the truth about this? It might as well be me. You can increase the probability of longevity of a relationship, but not ever get a guarantee that it won't happen. Example, marry a woman who doesn't believe in divorce. Will Noland, I love you like a young brother, but that's what he says all the time. Marry a woman who doesn't believe in divorce. I can tell you right now, I know women that don't believe in divorce. They'll tell you with their own mouth that they don't believe in divorce, but guess what? They're divorced. So, like I said, don't believe a word that a woman says, believe everything she does. The song, Interstate Love Song by Stone Temple Pilots, 1994. Some of my favorite words. Leaving on a southern train, only yesterday you lied. Promises of what I seem to be, only watch the time go by. All of these things you said to me. Scott Weiland from Stone Temple Pilots, 1994. You know you're going to play that. You know you're going to play that song, right? Down, 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 down. Leaving on a southern train. Only yesterday you lied. Promises what I seem to be. Only watch the time go by. All of these things you said to me. Great song, especially the version where they are live on the Howard Stern show. It's on YouTube. If you just search Howard Stern, Stone Temple Pilots live, the song is unbelievable, completely unadulterated, just pure STP at its finest. For those that are STP fans. When a woman leaves you, you should never be in an existential crisis. Existential crisis, for some people, that's a fancy phrase. That means your existence, where you are, where you live, the roof over your head, the chair you're sitting in, is in crisis. If a woman leaves you and you are in some kind of crisis, you have problems. If you are, or this has happened to you, it's a sign you don't have a strong foundation rooted in an intentionally built identity. Breakups and divorces are bad, and men are the true romantics. A woman you care about and have developed intimacy with will leave an impact on you, and her departure will shake your foundation. Most men put far too much of their own identity in a woman and possessing her. They validate themselves and every day off of her reaction and approval. The strongest identity is one built through discipline and adherence through virtue and truth. I have not met a virtuous woman. I have not met a virtuous woman, and I'm having a hard time. I don't meet virtuous women anymore. It's just something that it's just strange. Josh Westbrook says, I saw STP live in 94. Incredible. That's awesome. That is awesome. Yeah, if a woman wants to leave, let her leave. There's the door right there. There's the door, honey. I'll help you pack. I'll put your shit in the driveway. You want to go? Go. Never beg. Gentlemen, there's no begging. There's no begging. There's no pleading. There's no, I want explanations. If she wants to go, let me tell you something. Her explaining why she no longer wants to be in a relationship is not going to help you. As soon as she tells you that she wants out and she's unhappy, it's bye-bye. Toodaloo. Sayonara. She walks the plank. Period. Period. If she helped you in your business and build what you have, your certain wealth, you give her half. That's it. But she goes. Bye-bye. If you're smart, you kept your house to yourself and you owned it before you got married. Stuff that you bought together, any joint purchases during the marriages, all gets split right down the middle. Antonio Brown, you're walking on thin ice with your words. Be careful. If I see him again, you go into timeout. I'm not playing around with you. Josh Westbrook says, I told my wife, if you want to go, go. There's the door. Simple as that. It's not beta to care about a wife, to be considerate. Don't be a sensitive pussy, but be considerate. Considerate is holding a chair, holding a door, doing something for somebody. If they're sick, they're laying in bed. I said it yesterday. You take care of them. You might even take a day off from work if your spouse is sick, which means that you are in a different part of the house. You close the door, you leave them alone. You make some soup for them, some broth. You make tea for them. You always keep like a little bucket with cool water in and a washcloth, and you put the washcloth in, you wring it out, and you put it across their forehead. You ask them if they need anything. You wash their face. You give them a small hand towel to wash your hands because when you're sick, you feel gross. You bring them some mouthwash so they can rinse out their mouth and spit it, in a cup or a little tub or something like that. That's being considerate. That's being a considerate man, not a sensitive man. The strongest identity is one built through discipline and adherence to virtue and truth. Unless you have a long term habit of choosing the harder right over the easy or wrong by taking moral stands, going to the gym when you don't feel like it, setting and maintaining boundaries with others, and taking initiative and leading, eating intentionally for health and fitness goals, and surrounding yourself with quality people and systems, your woman leaving can make you spiral into a depression and even become suicidal in the worst cases. The good news is, if you're in this place now, the pain of going through it is normally worse than the pain of challenging your own delusions and ego. This is a calling to break free. It shouldn't hurt to be a man. You got that? It shouldn't hurt to be a man. Yes, there will be challenges and smaller pains of regularly chosen harder paths, but nothing external to you should put you into a tailspin. I have said in the past, if one phone call or email or Marco Polo or text, if one thing can send your life into a tailspin, you have to re examine your life. You got to re examine your life. I feel like having a pipe now, but I don't smoke a pipe in the house. I'm always outside or out in the shed. I looked at a large group pic of me and former classmates from a class reunion. As embarrassing as that is, we're all gray and older now, class reunion, homecoming kind of thing. And there was me and a bunch of women. I don't know, 10 of them. And I realized that I had sex somewhere along the line with every single one of those women. Absolute degeneracy, not pounding on my chest, not bragging, absolute degeneracy, sinfulness, doing Satan's calling. Rather than making babies and creating a beautiful family, I was spreading my seed all through college and after and in my 20s. Horrible. There was a wake up call to repent from that. Gentlemen, you are in love with the dream and not her. She represented so much more than just breasts and ass and a pretty face. It's the dreams, it's the kids, it's the house, it's doing things together, it's building a legacy, something that's going to outlive you. That died when you broke up, when you divorced. That is the part you have to grieve. You can't grieve her because she's still alive. You grieve the dream that died. You first start out in denial, anger, bargaining, guilt, acceptance, depression. You're in love with the dream and not her. And remember, what is fresh and wholesome and beautiful and wonderful to you was some other guy's hell. There's another man in the world who experienced her, and it was just pure hell. You're not that guy. You dodged a bullet. It hurts. I know it hurts. It stinks. But it's true. They all circle back, and they always come back with a few more miles on them. Like, let's say you rent a car and you enjoyed that car for a week, and then you return the car. And then, I don't know, a year later, 6 months later, you want that same car because you had a good experience, but you get that same car back. The company, Hertz or Enterprise or whatever, gives you that same car back, but now it's got 100,000 miles more on it. It's worth a little bit less. That's what happens when a woman leaves you and you try to get her back. When she comes back, she has 100,000. That odometer spun around a few times. What makes her any different than a rental car that's been driven and abused by other people? What makes her different? Somebody tell me. Somebody tell the truth. Because if you don't, I'm going to. Rental car is a good example. I got that picture of me and all those gals with rental cars on them. Should find it. It's pretty funny. And I hate when that happens. I hate when I look at pictures of me and women and know that, yeah, I did that. It's horrible. It's shitty. Let me find that, if that's still available. It's embarrassing for me. It's very embarrassing. It's very embarrassing. As soon as you see it, you'll know what I'm talking about. Very embarrassing. Thanks for hanging with me, though. The most fun I've ever had was hanging out with my boys. Hanging out from a young age. Me and the dudes going out, watching a band, working out, taking a day hike, building something, going on motorcycle rides, working on a car in my garage, that kind of stuff. I'm not showing pictures of the girls. Not going to do it. But it kind of goes like this. Me and gals that I went to college with. And I can look at every one and remember where we were, what they did. And it's just weird. Was it random? And this is decades ago where I had every single one of these. Embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing. I would rather have a picture of me and 10 children sitting on a couch with a Christmas tree alongside and a fireplace roaring. That's what I would rather have. To me, that's more admirable when I look at guys who've had a million kids and struggles. That's okay. So part of my grieving is letting go of the dream of being married, happily married, and being a father. Again, I had to give that up. I had to let that go. Like the John Lennon song says, I just had to let it go. And that's something that we all have to live with, is some of that craziness. The consequences of the folly that we've had. Sure, we've had lots of successes. Sure. A friend's wife did that. She quit her job in retail and announced she was going to be a stay at home mom, which was odd because they had no kids and she was on birth control. Gee, how convenient. The loss of income caused a lot of stress and she ended up having an affair. Gee, no surprise. And they got divorced. Yeah. I dated a gal that once wanted to be a stay at home wife, loved her dearly, almost did it though, came that close. No, I am not rescuing you from your corporate job hell. Unless you're making babies, you need to work. Stay at home mother? Yes. Stay at home wife? Get the freak out of here. Nice try, but no. You poured yourself into her, supported her in many of her struggles, always listened, always understood. And regardless of all that, she still split. Wah, wah, I'm not happy. Bye. Imagine, if you will, a 40-year-old vagina that never pushed out a child. It's only been penetrated by men for the past 25 years who took their shot in it. That hormonally birth controlled uterus. Give some thought about that. It might look pretty, but how many men have entered her body? How many men have entered her mouth? Breasts that have only been sucked on by boyfriends and not by babies belong to the street. Women want to use their body for pleasure, not for what they are designed for, to please their husband and to make babies. Of course, there's exceptions, but if she's in her 30s and 40s and childless, she's going to be trouble somewhere down the line. They're past the stage of being saved. Scripture says, yet she will be saved through childbearing if they continue in faith and love and holiness and with self control. That is a beautiful thing. A woman can come close to the very end of a self destructive life, and yet she will be saved through childbearing. How many women get close to 40 and then have one child? One child, just to try to make their life legit. It does have a positive impact on them. There's nothing in the world, nothing like having kids to kind of make you think differently about things. Yet she will be saved through childbearing. Ladies, if you're watching and you want to be saved, have a baby. Have a baby. Absolute fact. You didn't hear it from me. George is finally going Charles Bukowski. They should be having kids between 18 and 24. What if you meet a woman who's in her 20s and 30s and even 40s? Should they be having children? That's a question I want to ask. A woman is saved through childbirth. Scripture talks only about 3 different women: virgins, married women, and widows. That is it. Also, prostitutes as well. Think about it. We have all these different categories for women. Scripture talks about 3 women: virgins, married, and widows. Not single for 25 years and fucking around. and having a body count of 80 and sucking dick on every single business trip and getting reamed up the ass by the Chad, that's an absolute fact. That is not a category that God recognizes. You go from your dad's house to your husband's house. Then, if the husband dies, you don't remarry. You stay faithful for life. She says, it's not you, it's not me. And every generation of men is flabbergasted the first time they heard it. Sir, let me tell you something. You're not the first one, and you won't be the last one. And gentlemen, if you share your heart with a woman, tell your struggles to her, tell her how much you made today. I used to do that. Positive cash flow. Had a good day today. Yes, I made $3,000 today. Who are you reporting that to? Your mommy? She shouldn't even know how much you make. Screw that. It's time for you to fucking man up. You share your heart and your struggles to your woman, and she'll be riding the guy from sales on her next business trip. There's no quicker way to start the process of divorce than to complain or share your troubles. That's why you need a friend you share with your brother, your father, a buddy. No quicker way to turn a girl off than to show your struggles to her. You're not being real. You're not keeping it real. Oh, but she's a Christian. She's a woman of faith. She has traditional values. She goes to church regularly. She's pro man and pro masculinity. She's patriotic. She even has an American flag bikini. Bro, bra, bruh, bruv, it doesn't matter. Virtue is rare in a woman, even amongst the above that I just mentioned. There are human roulette wheels. Where it stops, nobody knows. That's why I say believe what she does, not what she says. Will Nolan says, marry a woman that doesn't believe in divorce. Honestly, it's some of the worst advice I ever heard. I like Will, and I'm not going to stop listening to him for that. We might even have a debate, and I want to have him on the channel and talk about it. I get it. I'm not his enemy. Some guys might think that. I'm not his enemy. Her beliefs are continuously variable, like an automatic transmission. Breakups classically happen after the gifts, the holidays, the weekend getaways, the anniversaries, and all the I love yous. She has planned them all. By the time a woman says it's over, she's been thinking about it for weeks and even up to a year. When you are old and looking back on your life, the best times will have come from relationships. Also, the worst experience will be from relationships. It's 50-50. So, are you going to just be in a bitchy mood for your whole life? No. That is where your will comes in. And you're always a positive guy. I met a guy at a conference 2 weeks ago. His name is Tom. Sharp guy. Might be younger than me. Just moved to the U.S. Virgin Islands. Tom, if you're watching this, you know what I'm talking about. He was with a gal for 12 years, and he's a high value man. And and when I say high value, I'm talking about he could live anywhere in the world he wants, drive whatever car he wants. They were together for 12 years, and she says, I'm not happy. And they broke up. He moved from there. He moved from Florida. He's like, fuck it. And he moved to the U.S. Virgin Islands. Lives in paradise. That's his attitude. I know he's hurting. I know he puts out a lot of positive vibes. I got to give him a call. 12 years. Holy crap. Because women marry a lifestyle, not the man. Women don't marry potential or a man on his way up. A woman never brags to another woman telling her, boy, he's got a lot of potential. That doesn't happen. You've heard people say women don't care about your struggles. They just wait at the finish line, hoping to hook up with the winners. They don't want potential. You're doing good, honey. Good boy. Good boy. You made $1,000 today? Good boy. Good boy. Men looking for validation and approval from their woman? Are you kidding me? You reach out to your friends and share that with them. You don't tell that to her. Yeah, but you're not being transparent. I didn't say to be transparent. Think about it. Think about it. This is a rough one for a lot of guys. This is a tough one. One guy said, I'm always transparent with my wife. I'm like, all right. Where do you work? He's like, in the city. I'm like, all right. You ever walk down the sidewalk and see a chick with a short dress on? She has the most amazingly beautiful legs. And she's wearing a pair of sandals and her nails are done and she is beautiful. She looks like a damn mannequin. She's not showing a lot of cleavage, but there's enough there where you know she's got a nice rack and the hair is beautiful. And you pass her and she makes eye contact with you. Holy crap. For a split second there, it kind of takes you off guard, doesn't it? Right? Well, and you just start thinking, maybe we can meet for lunch or something. I don't know. But she looked at you with those eyes. You know the eyes that I'm talking about. Well, you going to go home? And the wife says, honey, how'd it go today? Because you're Mr. Transparent. And you say, I saw the most beautiful woman in the world today. She was unreal. She had a beauty that I have never seen before. And she made eye contact with me. And for a split second there, it gave me some pleasure. You going to tell your wife that? Hell no. What, are you kidding me? But literally, just yesterday, you said to me, I'm transparent with my wife. We share everything with each other. Okay, share that with her and see how that evening goes. You'll be sleeping on the damn couch, my brother. So there's a time and place for everything, and don't you forget it. Don't you forget it. And then there's missionary dating. Christian men trying to wife up a worldly woman, thinking they can change her and make her into a virtuous woman. Send her all the Christian videos, all that you want. You buy her a cross. How many times have guys done that? I did that once. I bought somebody a cross, a really nice cross. Praying with her, being understanding. Bro, you are self-deceived because you were trying to create a wife. And it ain't going to happen. One adult does not train another adult. Sorry. She has to see it in such a way where you make it so attractive to her. Quick commercial. If you need an MC for your next event, conference, etc., workshop, you need someone to interview speakers in a separate show for your podcast, a pro to keep the show rolling and confirm its value to the attendees. Talk to the guy who's done it for over 30 years. That is me. I'm the guy for you. You got me for the whole weekend. Hire me for that, and you have me for the whole weekend. I will blow your mind. Your audience will love what you do. End of commercial. Never chase a woman ever, 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 and ever. Never try to build a case for a woman to go out with you by asking her out multiple times or to convince her to stay with you. If she wanders, she has to go. No flowers, no dinners, no weekend getaways. Have the damn funeral. She's got to go. Period. She cannot stay with you. The problem with many of you is when you break up with a woman, you keep the girlfriend porn on your phone, the naked pictures, the stuff that she gave you, the books, everything. It's got to go. As a matter of fact, shit, I still have a book upstairs. It's got to go. It's got to go. That's what the funeral is all about. So when you're going through a breakup, my brother, keep this in mind. Don't do anything self-destructive or foolish. Do only good. And you make this a daily habit until you get back on your feet. Women can change their mind and alter your trajectory with one schizophrenic decision. Never do anything for a woman who is not your wife. Pursue your goals. If she wants to join, keep her at arm's length. Never put your dreams or income at risk. I was looking at a house, and the realtor is calling the shit out of me right now. The house was $459. It had 5 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, a back deck, a 2-car garage. It was in the woods. It was beautiful. And I already knew where my recording studio was going to be. Already knew that. I already knew where I was going to put the motorcycle. I already knew how the back deck was going to look as far as the patio furniture and the gas grill and such. That was it. And to let her decorate the inside. I had an idea of what I wanted for the window treatments, all of that happening. And then she broke up with me. So what did I lose? The dream of that house. I would have plunked down that money like that to purchase that house and not have a mortgage. That would have been ideal. She would not have had to work. Granite countertop, island in the middle of the kitchen, 2 bathrooms with the master bedroom, her bathroom and my bathroom. How perfect would that have been? Women can change their mind with one schizophrenic decision. Never do anything for a woman who is not your wife. So the room that was going to be her craft room or her little study or whatever you want to call it is now going to be a workout room for me. You know why? Because of this right here. Fuck it. Women don't leave what they perceive to be a high value man. They don't care about a man with potential who's on his way up. If you're not already there, you're just filling space. The days of your broke grandparents loving each other no matter what is long gone, bruv. So let me ask you this. Is your income from multiple sources? Is your income pandemic proof? Do you have multiple ways of accepting payments, including gold, silver, crypto, cash, electronic funds, maybe even bartering? Is your income protected from anyone who could take it or claim part of it? Only in the past 2 years have I done things like accepted alternative forms of payment, things like gold and silver, as well as cash. My dad once said to me, "You sure can get them, but you can't keep them." And it took me years to realize that it wasn't me. The fickle schizo nature of the modern woman, and when I say modern woman, I mean woman who has running water. That is a plague. And stop it with the pedestalizing of European women, Filipino women, Southeast Asian women, Polish women. They're no different, bro, brah, brah. They're women. I don't care what zip code a woman is from. A woman is a woman is a woman, period. And if this woman goes on vacation by herself, you got played, my brother. Scripture says, a virtuous woman who can find, for her price is far above rubies. This was from the mother of King Lemuel. She wrote that. A woman wrote that. A virtuous woman who can find. Let me put that into English for you. It goes like this. A virtuous woman is rare. She's so rare that her price is far above rubies and jewels. You poured yourself into her, supported her through her struggles, always listened, always understood, and regardless of all that, she split. And I bet you won't do that again, bruh. Never blame yourself for a breakup. Women can be a tumbleweed. Just literally wind blowing them from town to town. I've coached guys with all the right stuff, the looks, the chads, the money, the status. They can't understand how she could just end it. It blows my mind. As I heard once in a prison that I work in, a guy not very educated and not very articulate said to me this, and I think he had a third grade education. He says, they be trouble. It's what they do. Doesn't sound very sophisticated now, does it? They be trouble. It's what they do, he said to me. Unbelievable. Women never up and leave you to go to nothing. There's always, monkey branching. They hang on to one branch, you, and do you think they let go and fall to the ground? No, they go to another branch, which means another man. When they are grasping firmly on the other man, they can let go of this branch. And now she's being supported by another man. Your problem is to let go of her. When she let go of you and grabbed onto someone else, that is what women do. They never leave and go to nothing. There's always another guy waiting in the wings who's on deck. She's putting herself in front of him every day, and she is 100% sure that he is going to ask her out or inquire into dating her soon. This includes the nicest Christian women who attend women's Bible studies on Tuesday mornings at church. A woman will accept your gift yesterday, go on weekend getaways, celebrate anniversaries, and then drop the bomb and break up with you today. None of this is spontaneous. She's been thinking and planning about this while you were planning your future together. Her aloofness was your first clue. Godly men get fucked over in divorce and custody at the same rate that non-Christian men do. The fickle, non-virtuous Christian female nature is documented quite clearly in Proverbs. A virtuous woman who can find, for her husband is far above rubies. In other words, she is rare. She does him good all the days of her life, not bad. Let's go back to the comments. Albert, who's been with us for a while, George, looking for some advice on possible white buffalo. She's Italian. She was a model, now very successful executive. She's pursuing me. Believe it or not, it feels different. Any advice? Hold your frame, period. Rusty says, I have noticed women experience life through a man like they go traveling. It's always to find a Chad to show them around. Will AI robots replace women in the next couple years? Many will. Lance says, I almost proposed to my ex-girlfriend, so glad I didn't after realizing how deceptive she was. Rimia says, I am going to say this again, even in places like Romania, there are rotten apples amongst women. Don't think that Eastern Europe is the promised land. I am witness to that. I dated 2 Polish women, Kasia and Agnieszka. Both were trouble. Period. Trouble. There is no difference between Eastern European women and American women. They're Americanized. If she has running water, she's Americanized. She's Western. Let's get real for once about these women. Let's get real for once. Somebody tell the truth, please. It might as well be me. Let's see what's on Gab this morning. Who's yelling at me there on Gab? It is rough. Gab is rough. They don't get it on Gab. They have no clue. I'm a misogynist and a woman hater on Gab. I'll spend a couple minutes talking about navigating the minefield. Number one, in vetting a woman, you look for things in a woman that are red flags. Let's talk about those things. And when I say women from Red Flagistan, is there a country called Red Flagistan? No, there isn't, but there should be. Women who have red flags, I jokingly, tongue-in-cheek, call them from Red Flagistan. Number one, if a woman has had abortions, she's not a good bet to be a wife. She will always want to have compensatory pregnancies to make up for the lives that she killed through abortion. Women think abortion is healthcare. You do not remove a conceived child like you remove a wart or a growth on the skin. You do not remove a fertilized egg that has been conceived into a small child. You do not remove them like you remove a growth on your skin. And that woman bears that pain over and over and over. Number two, like I married a woman who had abortions. Trouble. I should have known that. My arrogance said I could fix her. Number two, a woman who has psycho eyes, has a stare to her. It's like a dead stare. That woman is trouble. That's part of the minefield. You step onto that woman, man, your life blows up into 1,000 pieces. Take my word for it. Women should have a nice, peaceful, innocent look, a joyful look on their face. If they look like men, if they look like they're scared, if they look like they've been around, you can see it in their eyes. Those of you that have done online dating, you swipe the sites and you see women that have like this staring look. That's what we call the 1,000-cock stare, which means that she probably has seen more men than she would ever admit to you. That's the 1,000-cock stare. When you see a stare like that from a woman, staring off into space like a zombie, that woman has had more dick in her and on her than you will ever be able to deal with in your life. She's nothing but trouble. Let her stay at the streets. Single moms, That can go either way. I know blended families that work well. I know men that marry single moms, but 9 times out of 10, they rescue single moms. The problem with marrying a woman who has children is this. Number one, you can never discipline those children. The mother will discipline those children. You got to keep your mouth shut. You are a man. You are not wired to keep your mouth shut. Marrying a single woman is like rescuing someone who needs help. Your dick, the flow of blood to your dick cuts off the flow of blood to your brain. Not a huge fan. As soon as you marry a woman with children of any age, whether they be children or whether they be young adults, what happens is that you lose yourself because those kids will always respect their father and never respect you. You will always be mommy's boyfriend and have no real say whatsoever. It's a hard life, gentlemen, marrying a woman who has kids. It's a very hard life. A woman who has anger issues, if she comes at you with her fists in any way, if she throws shit, if she puts you down, uses words and digs at you, takes that screwdriver and just digs at you, at your insecurities, she's got issues. You experience that. That's why I like to say date long, marry slow, and divorce fast. You find that shit out over a period of time. If she has anger issues, if she has anger issues when you were dating, they will be magnified times 3, 4, 5 times when you get married. You gave her permission to express herself when you were dating. The minute you get married, she gets full carte blanche ability to complain and be angry. If there's any physical violence whatsoever, does a woman ever come after you with her hands and you got to grab her hands? That's violence. Because many times, if you don't grab her hands, she will scratch your face, slap you, punch you. And if the cops get called, you get in trouble for holding her wrists. That's violence. That's assault. You don't want that. Any anger issues, any physical violence, withholding sex and physical affection. I would never, ever withhold sex or physical affection from my wife in a million years. Would never do it. Never do it. It's 5:27 a.m. I got to take a shower in about 15 minutes. I would never do it. If my wife is stressed out and I'm stressed out, but I know that all I want to do is go to sleep, literally, I don't need to bust a nut. I just need to go to sleep. If my wife is stressed out and I know that making love to her and giving her a beautiful orgasm is going to help her have a good night's sleep, relieve some stress, make her feel beautiful again, then it's my husbandly duty to do so without complaint. Joyfully minister to the needs of my wife. When a woman wants to hurt you, when she knows that busting a nut, what I call taking a sleeping pill, if a woman knows that just giving you a nice nighttime pre-bed beej will help you have a good night's sleep and she doesn't do it, something's wrong. She's withholding sex from you. She's withholding physical affection. There's nothing like laying in bed all stressed out and your wife wraps herself around you like a damn pipe cleaner, like a wire pipe cleaner, and they can't separate the two of you. Speaking of separate the two of you, the scripture talks about a woman needs to leave her mother and father and cleave to her husband. How many women are afraid to leave their mother and father? That's satanic. Stay with your mother and father and worship Satan. That's how that works. Scripture talks about women need to leave the mother and father and cleave to their husband. Two are stronger than one. And that's when a marriage takes place. When she leaves her mother and father. I can't tell you how many women can't leave their parents. And I'm talking 20s, 30s, and 40s. They got to stay with their parents. Let them stay with their parents. You want nothing to do with that. There's nothing you can do about that. Nothing. If a woman has a history of being the one who did all the breakups, like you have that talk with her, well, what about Jack? Whatever happened to Jack? I only dated 4 guys in the past like 10 years. Okay. Who are they? Jack, Dave, Steve, and Paul. Okay. What happened to Jack? Well, Jack got a little bit narcissistic and abusive. So I had to just tell him. And then he got crazy and threw a couple things. And I had to call the police, and the police removed him from the house. Okay. What about Steve? Steve only thought about himself. He was a typical abuser, trying to hold it as much as he can. But, a leopard can't change its spots. And he slammed the door a couple times, scared the hell out of me. I called the police. They had to remove him. What about Dave? Dave and I, all we did was argue. And one day he spoke so loud, yelled so loud, the neighbors heard it. So I had to call the police, and the police had to remove him. Do you see what I'm getting at, fellas? If a woman has a history of calling the police on every boyfriend that she ever had, she's trouble. What makes you think what makes you think that she's not going to do that to you? Pardon me, I need to refill my coffee. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Second cup of coffee. That's nice. She did all the breaking up. That is trouble, gentlemen. That's navigating the minefield. If you bring a woman like that in your life, it is trouble. I have a list here. This entire paper and this entire side completely filled with red flags. I know Rich Cooper came up with 20 red flags. I have 45 red flags, things to avoid. Any single one of those things can destroy your relationship or marriage. Any Christian that makes you wait and then, what's the word? And then makes up all the rules all of a sudden. Christian that makes you wait. Desire is genuine. Gentlemen, desire. If a woman really likes you, she wants to kiss you, she wants to hold you, she knows she can't have the full act, but she comes right there. Okay? She makes you wait. Listen to me, bro. She didn't make the past people wait. She's trying to start fresh. You are an experiment with her. That woman has a mother that slams the father. One of the biggest things that I have discovered, gentlemen, bro, brah, is that women who put down and don't respect their father are the absolute biggest risk. If your woman has anything at all bad to say about her father, you need to fucking break up ASAP. You need to break up ASAP. Even if he is a douche, your experience, you have observed him being a real douche. Your job is to like reel him in, love him, care for him, make sure that he's a good guy, a good father in law. Maybe take him out for breakfast. Maybe show him how he can have a renewed relationship with his daughter. That could be a good thing. But if your woman, your girlfriend, your wife is pissed at her father's drinking, at the anger, at how he treats her mother, you are in trouble. How she treats her father is how she will treat you. There's no exceptions. Women, talk bad about an ex. Specifically, there's two things. If I'm out there dating and a woman starts talking about her ex, I just let her go. I don't cut them off. I'm at the point now where I'm like, yeah, let's just see if they say the two magic words. When a woman describes her ex and she says the word he was a narcissist or he was abusive, those are the two words that mean you are in trouble. You are in trouble. You will eventually be the narcissist. You will eventually be the abuser. The minute a woman says narcissist or abuser, that's when I already made up my mind. I'll finish the night. That's what I'll do. In the past, I get the blowjob, the night ends, kiss the girl on the cheek, send the required text. That's in the past. That's not now. And then I want nothing to do with her. I want nothing to do with her at that point. If a woman has tattoos and piercings, let's get real. Women get tattoos for different reasons than men. Men get tattoos as symbols of something. My 3 tattoos are my children. Where are they? 3 tattoos. 1, 2. My arm's getting so big I can't even. 3. They all represent my kids. The artwork is mine. It's beautiful. When women get tattoos, it's symbolic of pain. It's pain working its way out. That's what it is. Men and women are different. Men and women get different reasons for tattoos. When women pierce the shit out of themselves, when they tattoo the shit out of themselves, what you're seeing there is pain. She's going to be nothing but trouble. Prove me wrong on that one. We want women that are feminine, not women that are masculine. I want my women to have clean fingernails, pretty feet, take care of themselves, have a routine, take care of their face, brush their hair, have a routine, take time for themselves and self-improvement. That's super important. I keep men from sinking in despair and remain productive. Good morning, George. This is so-and-so. I'm not going to say his name. We spoke back in January. Took me almost 4 months, but pulled the trigger and retained the attorney and filed. We were only married 8 months, but I think she wants a battle to try to get the money. Married 8 months and she wants the money. Unbelievable. So the next few months will be a challenge, but I'll be fine. Yes, sir, you will. The last 2 months of your videos, shorts, posts, all felt like you knew exactly what was happening and you were speaking directly to me. Thank you for the work you do. You are welcome, sir. I have your number. I know exactly who you are. I remember our conversation, and you feel free to text or write at any time. If you don't have your own plans, dreams, hopes, chances are you will end up in someone else's plans. Guess what they have planned for you? Nothing. Not much. That's why you have to have your own plans, your own dreams. It's important. Let me get back to my messages here. I could write one hell of a book on that. You are right, Josh. Hassan says, guys, foreign women are the same. Don't even think otherwise. I am from Turkey here. Even if they are Muslim, they are the same. So learn how to walk on the minefield, learn to stand alone. That's right, navigate the minefield, because one wrong step, inviting one wrong woman who has any of these things. And here's the problem with most men. We think we can fix the bitches. We think we can fix the bitches. You're not going to fix anyone. That's not going to happen. No, did you ever stop swearing because someone started nagging you? Did you ever stop eating something because somebody nagged you? No, you did. It just became a pain in your ass, pretty much, didn't it? So you stopped eating pie and cake and candy because you made a decision to. You stopped cursing. I don't curse half as much as I used to. Thank God. I don't curse half as much as I used to. Not because someone told me that I curse too much, but because I've listened to myself and I don't like myself when I curse. But I do keep it real. And sometimes I curse just for the effect. Rusty says that's a beautiful way to put it. When women get tattoos, it's pain working its way out. Don says, my wife got a handful of tattoos when she was younger. I liked them all at the time, but we both have changed drastically. You're right. What about just sleeping with single moms? When are you going to do that? After she puts her kids to bed? Probably not a good idea. And lastly, Mario says, and this is under the category of how to fix a broken heart. He says, George, I'm now in a divorce process and crying my eyes out. Good for you. Good for me that you released your video. Thank you for doing God's work. And that was the video called How to Fix a Broken Heart the Right Way. JB says, greetings, George. Sound advice, as always. Keep up the great work you are doing. You bring solace and understanding to so many. I hear what you say about the walking. Absolutely. Get out and walk. Son of God says, I sure wish I had you over the past couple years. Men, if you're going through a breakup right now, what he says here is golden. When you are going through it, if you can't fathom what he says is right, but once you're through the pain, you will see that he's spot on. Thank you, brother. Great advice. Gentlemen, remain strong. It's the second day of the week. It's Tuesday. Some of you like to say that Sunday is the first day of the week. All right. Either way, it's Tuesday. This is what I want you to do Tuesday. I want you to walk a little bit faster. Walk 25% faster than everybody else at work. I'm getting ready to go to a part-time job. I got to go take a shower, groom up, look good, smell good, feel good. Walk 25% faster than everyone else. Stomach in, chest out, shoulders back, head held high. Walk with a sense of urgency. That's super important. You might not feel, you might feel like you want to kind of slump and just kind of like walk, whatever. No. Whenever you get a chance to walk on grass, do so. If you're walking along a sidewalk, a cement sidewalk, and it's on, and there's grass next to it, walk on the grass, you'll feel better. Something about walking on the earth really does feel good. Don't eat any junk today. I challenge you. No sugar, no candy, no donuts. Go easy on the carbs. Eat a lot of fruit. Have a steak tonight. Have a prime rib. You'll be fine. So, gentlemen, start thinking about your new goal. Start thinking about your new goal. If you want to have a YouTube channel to help other men, I can help you with that. I'm creating a course on that. For 7 years, I did nothing but YouTube on this phone. This phone here, what I produce on this phone gives me anywhere between $1,200 and $7,000 a month. Fast track phone money. That's what I get. Fast track phone money. So if you want to do that and leave your job like I did in 2017, I can show you how to do that and putting together a course about that. There is nothing like making your own money. You're not going to climb to the top of the ladder. There's nothing like sitting at your kitchen table, making a video, talking about life, solving people's problems. Are partner relationships overrated? It seems to me that almost everybody wants to be in a relationship because everyone else does. That's true. No girl trips and no bar or clubbing without you. That is true. Yep. Yeah. You are going to practice excellence today. When you practice excellence, think about it. When you practice excellence, you start seeing the fruits of excellence. Yeah. I'm not saying be excellent so you can start attracting excellent women. That's not what I'm talking about. Do it for you. If you don't do it for you, just keep in mind you have to do it for you. You have to do it for you. Yeah. And if you want to make your ringtone box cello suite, then please do that. There's nothing like waking up to a magnificent composition as opposed to, some rock and roll thing. Have a great day. Do what I say. Walk 25% faster, stomach in, chest out, shoulders back, head held high. It's important. Have a sense of urgency in everything you do, my brother, bro, brah. And you will be fine. You will be okay. If you enjoyed this stream, please, after this stream goes up, put in the comment section that you enjoyed it. We spent 2 hours together, and I'm happy that I can help you start your day. So go get your shower and start your day.